Why attack mono? Welcome to another Empires and Puzzles Books video. Today we're going to answer that very question. Why attack mono? I think there are some huge misconceptions about what it means to attack using a full mono team, and this causes two problems when we try to have a serious conversation about mono as an attack strategy. First, some players who try attacking mono get disheartened, frustrated, and end up feeling like it relies too much on a lucky board to get a win, which is simply not true. Second, some players who do not use full mono and may not fully understand all of the benefits of fighting with a full mono team sometimes discount it as gambling on lucky boards to get a quick win. Both of these points of view drastically underestimate the value of playing mono. Unfortunately, this type of thinking can lead players to believing that playing mono means grabbing any 5 heroes of the same element, praying for an amazing board with tons of that chosen element, and then winning big if there's lots of tiles and accepting the loss if there's none. That may be how some players use a mono attack, and it might be entertaining, especially if one enjoys gambling. However, that is not how serious mono attackers view this attack strategy. Now, before I get into this, let me be clear that I do not recommend mono for a vast majority of players. The short answer is if a player does not have built troops for mono, which is a huge investment, and the teams were not purpose-built for fighting mono, there is potentially going to be a lot of frustration. There also needs to be the skill, ability, patience, and willingness to negotiate challenging boards as they do happen from time to time. That's the short answer. If you want a more detailed answer, I do have another video on my channel titled Say No to Mono. In that video, I go over many reasons in more detail why you might want to say no to mono. Again, to be amply clear, I do not recommend mono attacking for most players. Unless you've committed to fully understanding mono and built your heroes and troops for this type of attack, it's better to stay away from this attack strategy. Let me also be clear that I'm confident that for my roster, my troops, my style, mono attacking is best. It's grounded in logic, reason, and testing. That said, it might not be best for you. There are reasons why the highest overall single Titan hit will always come from a mono team. There is logic behind why mono teams will always dominate the monthly challenge events and will always claim the top spots in the Ninja Tower. I am convinced that all things being equal, mono is mathematically the best attack strategy. This video is designed to highlight the reasons, the logical reasons, I offer as support to this thesis. So why do I mono? I will give 3 reasons, and I'll say that the first reason is the most obvious, and the last one for me is the most compelling. The first and most obvious reason to go mono is the compounded tile damage. When we take 5 heroes of the same element into a fight, their total attack numbers get added into the damage calculation, and since there's an exponent involved in that math, the damage increases at a rate greater than the rate of adding the additional heroes. What that means is by the time we get to the 5th hero of the same element, the tiles of that element are doing the damage of 7 heroes. I have a couple of videos on YouTube that show that this math works and that 5 heroes really do come with the tile power of 7. That is a massive amount of attack power, and that is what draws many to mono attacking. That amount of tile power is what often allows a mono player to make a simple 3-tile match and kill a tank, or a flank, or even an occasional wing. That kind of tile power is what turns a lot of players onto mono initially. The ability to take out the tank in one move is awesome, and it is a huge advantage. It immediately takes the game from a 5-on-5 fight to a 5-on-4. And as I mentioned, bringing in 5 is actually like bringing in 7. So it immediately takes the fight from 5-on-5 to 7-on-4, which is a massive advantage. And that is why a lot of players get pulled into playing mono. Although that amount of tile damage can be a huge advantage at the beginning of the game, it also can be very important when we hit the end game. Here is just one example of how the power of a mono stack can help save a game in the very last moments. My June and their Marjana are down to the last bits of health. It's a one-on-one battle. They are one move away from having their slash attack come at me, and their special, their mana, is much closer to being full than mine. Even though Holy is not the strong element against fire, it's a normal attack, but it has the power of 7 heroes behind it since I'm full mono. All I need to do is get one tile to touch Marjana, and this game is mine. That is the power of a mono attack in the end game. As I indicated, tile damage is the #1 reason people come to mono. It is a powerful tool, but it is not the only reason to play mono. Let's explore another aspect of mono that seldomly gets talked about. The second reason to fight mono is team synergy. There's some things that are unique about playing mono in building team synergy. Let's delve into those and take a look. When we look at the damage equation of the game, we will see maximum benefit from decreasing the enemy's defense. This is vastly more important than increasing our own attack. Since reducing defense is so significant, we would want to reduce it in as many ways as possible. The two most common defense downs that we can add together is a regular defense down and an elemental defense down. Stacking these two defense downs, in my opinion, is the simplest form of team synergy that we can build. Because of this, I chased the elemental defense down heroes because I feel it is that important. In a few weeks, when the elemental defense down costumes for Marjana and Leonidas are released, I will chase them as well. What does this mean for building a mono attack team? As the name implies, elemental defense down only reduces the defenses of one element. That said, it is most beneficial to stack heroes of that element so we can maximize that status ailment. Here is one example using a variation of my mono ice team. Frida provides elemental defense down to 3 enemies, and Athena provides regular defense down to 3 as well. That gives me the chance to take finishing strikes with both Magni and Alice for maximum benefit. An additional benefit of using full mono in this regard is that even if I have one hero killed, any of the other heroes can still take advantage of the elemental defense down. If my attack strategy was 3-2, I would be limited to only 1 or 2 heroes that could take advantage of the elemental defense down. If one of them is eliminated, that special becomes almost worthless. Here is one example from one of my war battles. Frida and Athena will give the 1-2 punch, and then Magni and Alice will do the finishing blows. All care of the elemental defense down being added to the regular defense down. The advantage of elemental defense down is distinctly in favor of the attacker, as players rarely stack one element on defense, unless it's a raid tournament that is lacking one element. As I just mentioned, defenders rarely use multiple heroes of the same element. If they're looking for an added boost to their hero's abilities, beyond their listed specials, talents from emblems, and increases from troops, they can often look to family bonuses. There is a wide variety of family bonuses, and they can often benefit the defender, as the families tend to be spread across various elements. These bonuses do very little for the attacker, as most players on offense stack elements, at least to some extent, which often makes a family bonus not worthwhile. So what option is there for players that stack for getting an added boost? Attackers can look to the elemental links from the Heroes of the Month. These bonus features are only shared among heroes of the same element. If we are attacking full mono with a Hero of the Month that has an elemental link, then that boost is available to all of our heroes. If we were playing a 3-2 setup, that extra kick is only available to 2 or maybe 3 of our heroes. The current batch of Hero of the Months provide minions to their elemental allies. If you had a hero that calls up minions, would you want those minions to only go to 2 or 3 heroes, or all 5? The last set of Hero of the Months gave their elemental allies plus 30% defense against special skills. Again, would we like to see that defense up on 2, 3, or all 5 heroes? The list of elemental links goes on and on. And unlike the family bonuses where we can only have 1 active, or maybe 2, we can get up to 5 elemental links going at one time. Imagine stacking 5 different added features to your entire team. The second benefit of mono, as we've been discussing, is team synergy. We've provided 2 examples of how team synergy is improved with mono. One, by using elemental defense down heroes in combination with other heroes of the same element, and taking advantage of the Hero of the Month elemental links. As those names imply, we need the same elements to reap those benefits, and the more of the same element that are on our team, the more we can potentially use those boosts. We have demonstrated that the first benefit of mono, compounded tile damage, gives a massive boost to the tiles that can be a game changer, not only in the first few moves, but can also be a deciding factor at the end. With the second benefit, Team Synergy, we have shown two different ways that attack teams can benefit from elemental defense down and elemental links. Now, let's look at the third benefit to using full mono attack teams. This is the one that I find the most compelling and one of the primary reasons I advocate for full mono when we have purpose-built teams. There are two ways we hurt the enemy: tiles and specials. The first benefit that we spoke about, compounding tile damage, shows the benefits of mono for attacking with tiles. The third benefit of mono that we're going to discuss addresses the damage from specials. What is the third benefit of mono? The third benefit is mana efficiency. Mana efficiency increases our ability to use our specials in a coordinated attack. Let's look at an example so we can see this idea of mana efficiency in action.
One of the biggest reasons to use a full mono team is for what I call mana efficiency. So to demonstrate that, I'm going to use this team here, which is a mono nature team. Note that there are no mana troops here. So there's 3-star troops and then 1 4-star critical troop. So these are all fast heroes. So they would need 8 tiles to get to full mana. So let's go ahead and attack with this team and see how mana efficiency will work. Typically when I play full mono, I don't jump on my chosen color right away. I want to try to improve board position as much as possible. So I'm going to try to get more of my color into this board if I can. Okay, so there's the risk that Perseus is going to go off at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and try to make a match to kill him, which follows up on our conversation about the power of stacking from the tile damage perspective. So 3 tiles went in. Notice every single one of my heroes are more than a third full on mana at this point. That is the benefit of doing full mono. If I was 3-2 right now, only 3 of my heroes would be getting mana, and I would need the same number of moves potentially to get those other heroes up to the same level of mana. When we start talking about team synergy, it makes that efficiency even stronger because you want heroes that work well together, and if they're up to speed at the same time, it makes it much more efficient. See where my heroes are at now with their mana? Everyone's leveled together. If this was 3-2, that most likely would not happen, at least not with any consistency.
It would be instructive to go back and re-watch that clip, as all 3 benefits of mono are clearly shown. The tile damage being compounded is what took out Perseus. The elemental link would have come into play when Evelyn fired, and there was the elemental defense down from Evelyn added to the defense down from Frigg. And then lastly, as the video clearly illustrated, was the mana efficiency of the entire team coming up to speed for a coordinated attack of specials. Let's now look at an example where there was not a full mono team used, and the mana generation was inefficient to the detriment of the attack. This example came from a recent 4-star Bloody Battle tournament. I added Mist into my mono nature team as she provides a unique defense down to special attacks. That would stack with Almer's elemental defense down and Buddy's regular defense down. As we see, the opening board gave me the gift of making a nature diamond. That's going to immediately power up all of my heroes except for Mist, since she is not nature. This becomes inefficient from an attack standpoint, as I would do maximum damage by setting off Mist first, then Almer, and then the buddies. Since she is a different element, this became inefficient and the attack was not nearly as strong as it could have been. Let's look at a mathematical comparison of mana efficiency between a full mono team and a 3-2 attack team. To keep the math simple, we will only be comparing fast heroes without mana troops. A fast hero needs 8 tiles to get to full charge. If we only consider the basic match 3 that makes up the game, it would take 3 matches to get a fast hero to full mana. If we had a full mono team of fast heroes, as I showed in the first video, they would all be at full mana in just 3 matches, 3 moves. If, however, I chose a 3-2 attack team, I would need to make 3 matches for both elements to get to full mana. That would now require 6 matches to get the entire team going. Again, to keep the math simple, if we ignore combinations, diamonds, cascades, and dragon shields, and we consider that it takes 1 move per match, that is 6 moves for the 3-2 team to get to full mana compared to 3 moves for a full mono. Both attack strategies are susceptible to bad boards. It typically takes 2 to 4 moves to change board chemistry to favor our chosen elements. With full mono, we have 3 moves saved due to mana efficiency. For example, if I'm dealt a bad board and it takes me 3 moves to get enough of my chosen tiles to be significant, I can potentially get my entire team up to full mana for a special attack in 3 more moves, for a total of 6 moves. With a 3-2 setup, if it takes 3 moves to change the board, there's still another 6 moves required to get to full mana. That's taking 9 moves to get ready for a special attack. While all this is happening, mono has the distinct advantage of inflicting fatal damage from the tiles once they are matched. Let's not forget lesson 1. Yes, factoring in combinations, diamonds, dragon shields, and cascades would alter this math, but that is true for both attack styles. In closing, let me say again that although I am confident that mono is mathematically the best attack strategy, I do not recommend full mono to everyone. To fully take advantage of a mono attack, we need to have purpose-built teams, an army of very strong troops. That requires 5 sets of troops for each element, which is a significant investment of resources. For those that attack with a 3-2 setup, they only need 3 sets of troops in each element. That is 40% less troops that require feeding. That is a huge savings and much more attainable for new and mid-range players. Full mono attack requires the skill, ability, and patience to negotiate challenging boards. It is not a great strategy for all players. I have built my teams and my troops to take full advantage of a mono attack. I've invested the time in studying the game and tile play to negotiate challenging boards. I am finding great success in playing mono, and I will continue to do so. I hope this video has demonstrated many reasons that fighting mono can be advantageous, and shown that it is not as simple as grabbing 5 heroes and hoping for an amazing board. I look forward to your comments, critiques, and feedbacks below. As always, thanks for watching.